So, yeah, like she's going off on me, telling me it's not true or nothing like that. I'm like, okay, I guess we still gonna lie. And cause then that's when she was like, oh, but I told you what I did in West Palm, so why wouldn't I tell you if that really happened? Cause we both know we don't like Nixon, and you knew I was gonna be like, why would you do it with them? Like, just like I just like I said when Jolene told me, like, we both always knew Nixon was weird. And then you used to say how nasty he was, how he was smelly or something like that. She used to say, like, she didn't like his hygiene. So and back then my best friend was like a clean freak, like a very clean freak. Like yeah. So it was kind of shocking to me that you would do that with, and then you was, yeah. So I mean, that didn't change none of my relationship with them or anything like that, because they knew I don't. That would not be me. I don't care what you and my best friend did. I don't care whoever her friends. And I think that's one thing that Nixon tried his hardest with me was because no, you could do that with all her other friends, but not this one. Not this one. Not this one. I'm sorry. That would never had happened. Ever on this life. Ever. So, moving from that, so that's why I was like, yeah. Yeah. It was going to be time for me to start leaving sooner or later. So, on the dating website or whatever, guess who pops up in my inbox? The first person I had children with. So I'm like, he's like, hey, buddy, why are you? He's like, you got you got 5 kids and you on a web. What you doing on a dating website? Like, and you got 5 kids. I looked at it. I said, no, hello. How's my son? How's my daughter? How's everything going? You know, like, do they need anything? I tell you, people has this weird obsession with me and they don't really want to admit it. But for somebody who never liked me, why are you so concerned about me being on a dating site and then I have 5 kids? That's none of your business. And don't even ask about your kids. So that's exactly what I said. I said, that's the first thing you want to say to me, and not how my children are doing. Oh, how's my son? How's my daughter? But what you doing on a dating website? You shouldn't be on here looking for no man. You could barely take care of yourself. He was just going on, but then he goes, you could barely take care of yourself. Isn't it why you left our daughter with your best friend? Then he proceeds to tell me, oh, I've always known when you stay. As long as you're in the state of Florida, I will always know where you stay. So just because you think you keep moving and changing your number, I will never find out where your location's at. I could always find you. I just never wanted to, what he said, I just never wanted to interrupt because you had a boyfriend and you was having kids. What does that have to do with your kids? What does me being in a relationship have to do with your kids? And then how scary it is for you to sit here and tell me that you always know where I stay. And that was the reason he ended up popping up. And I didn't even know he knew my address. But not once have you made yourself available for your children, but you're upset because I had kids and I'm in a relationship. I said, what is wrong with you? What does me being in a relationship with another dude has to do with anything with your kids? Oh, you done ruined that man's life, having all them kids by him. I ruined his life? Having all these kids by him? I said, something's really wrong with you, sir. Something's really wrong with you. And I blocked him. Why the hell are you... First of all, how do you even know my daughter's with my best friend? That's what really took me back. Because my mom didn't even know I was in Fort Myers until I left Fort Myers. My sister she barely knew anything that was going on in my personal life. My brother didn't find out I was in Fort Myers until I came back to Tampa in the homeless shelter. And even my family didn't even know I was in the homeless shelter. The only people that knew that my daughters were with my best friend was my best friend, her husband, her sister-in-law, my best friend's family, me, and Jolene, Nixon, and the kids. So who are you talking to that's telling you my business? That's when I had to really start being alert a lot of times. That's when I was like, yeah, I got to stop being in la la land and be thinking that these people around me are truly my friends, but there's somebody that's not. So I started filling out job applications back in Tampa. Now, me and him, the second person I had children with, we're starting, I ended up giving the kids, because our oldest daughter, which is my second oldest, started to ask for her dad. So I gave her the food stamp phone where she could call him. But every time she would call him, a female would answer. So I'm like, okay, did he get his number changed or something like that? Because mind you, on the Google where I was like posting like a lot of how I was feeling, and because nobody knew about that Google. Like when Google started it, nobody really knew about it. Like they was not promoting it like Facebook and Instagram, and you know what I'm saying? So not a lot of people knew about it, but for some reason, every time when I started posting constantly, he would start to like comment on some of the posts on it, because he knew it was about him, and then stuff about me too. So he would post on the ones that were referring to him. And then he ended up giving me another number. And then I was like, oh, because the girls keep calling this number and the girl keep picking up, not knowing. So when I get to Tampa to do the job interviews, we start talking, we start seeing each other. And this is how I started figuring out, like, how he used to get girls in my house, how he used to